Good evening. Welcome to the National News broadcast coming to you live from the National News Studio here at Rupavahini. Kasani Balachandra.
I'm Charita Minipurarachi, and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
The national television marks its 41st anniversary. A series of TV programs for the enhancement of Sinhala cinema. The President says IMF Director Board approves the credit facility to Sri Lanka by March. The government printer says she has no intention to disrupt the local government polls. A doctor who sold drugs to school children was taken to custody. Mud fertilizer needed to upcoming Yala season will be provided at concessionary prices. Earth tremor jerks New Zealand as well.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top local story. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation marked its 41st anniversary yesterday.
The corporation has fulfilled its national responsibility outstandingly for over 4 decades. It has gained high public respect by rendering its timely duty to express the Sri Lanka identity of audiovisual tradition at international level.
An all-night Pirit chanting was held at the Rupavahini Corporation premises yesterday in line with the 41st anniversary of the corporation. The ceremony was conducted under the Anusashana of Chief Incumbent of the Sri Jayawardhanarama Temple in Kuta Road, Venerable Godamune Lankananda Thera. Anunayaka of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Sangha Sabha, Venerable Makuruppe Somalankara Thera headed the Pirit chanting. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, W.B. Ganegala, Director General Asanga Jalat and the staff were present at this occasion.
අපේකම ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීමට මේ 41 වසර පුරාම ඔබ කටයුතු කර තිබෙනවා. ඒක වටිනා කාරණයක් හැටියට අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අගය කරනවා.
Punyakhetang
An alms-giving was offered to the Mahasangha at the corporation premises this morning. President Ranil Wickremesinghe expresses confidence that the IMF Director Board will approve the $2.9 billion credit facility to Sri Lanka by March this year.
Accordingly, the IMF would announce the start of Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process in March. He revealed these facts participating in a seminar held in Colombo today.
A series of seminars organized by the Faculty of Humanities of the Sri Lanka Technological Campus was initiated today under the theme of Peace and Prosperity of Sri Lanka until the year 2048. Addressing the opening ceremony, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that to carry forward the IMF debt restructuring mechanism, there should be a political stability in the country and the society should be equipped with new attitudes.
We need research universities in Sri Lanka. And as far as the government is concerned, we will help research even in non-government universities. So if you come up with a plan, we will see that we can give you some funding. We are broke, but we are not that broke that we can't give you some money. We are now at the moment at the stage of economic stabilization. I hope the IMF will by March be able to ensure that the debt restructuring can begin. But it also requires political stability and social innovation. And that innovation requires new thinking. New thinking requires new universities. So we have to think back, how much have we spent in the universities in the since 1978. So we ourselves are expanding the sector of non-government universities, non-UGC universities, in addition to state universities or state-sponsored universities which are outside the UGC. We hope to see that there will be also universities which are not government. Some would be not for profit, other would be for profit, but that's how universities operate. And we'll have to think of new laws to regulate these institutions.
Government printer Gangani Kalpana Lenigi says that the government printing department has no intention to disrupt the local government polls.
If the required grants is provided without delay, the department will be able to carry out the printing process.
She made these remarks following a discussion held with the trade unions and the senior officials of the department on the prevailing situation. Government printer Gangani Kalpana Lenagi said that the printing department got ready for the printing work pertaining to the polls after a relevant announcement made with. The printing department has carried out duties relevant to the polls at a cost of approximately 200 million rupees at present. The outstanding cost will exceed about 600 million rupees. Therefore, the printing department requested an advance payment for the duties to be continued. However, the Treasury has not yet released the required funds for the printing work.
Lawyers for Justice held a media briefing today regarding the current political situation in the country. Chairman of the Lawyers for Justice Association, Attorney at Law Manoj Gamage said that leader of the National People's Power, Andrew Dissanayake, threatened the government officers mentioning their names. He had made a threatening statement against some officers, including President Secretary Samaneka Naika, Treasury Secretary Mahinda Sirivardhana, government printer, that legal action will be taken against them. He said that the People's Power will directly take actions against them. Andrew Dissanayake is not a judge in any court. We don't know whether the NPP is going to set up a court under the party. We know that there's an independent judicial system in Sri Lanka. Andrew Disanayake's statement can be considered as contempt of court. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that a gazette notification will be issued to provide mud fertilizer with the farmers needed to upcoming yellow season at concessionary rates lower than the market price.
He made these comments joining a discussion pertaining to the problems in the agriculture field held at the Presidential Secretariat recently. They focus attention to prevent yellowish paddy plant disease, problems of sale of paddy and some other issues. The Agriculture Department has revealed the reason for the yellowish paddy plant disease is due to lack of mud fertilizer. It will be prevented from next season. It is also emphasized that the promotion of using fertilizer should be done under a single opinion of relevant intellectuals and institutions. Attention was also focused to sell expired stocks of paddy for animal food as there is surplus of rice in warehouses. This may lead to decrease the price of eggs and chicken in the market. Senior advisor to the President Sagala Ratnayaka, advisor on food security Suren Batagoda and several others were present at this meeting.
Farmers and farmer organizations say that purchasing paddy harvest at 100 rupees per kilo by the government is a loss for them. The farmers have faced many difficulties as fixed price has not been made for rather samba variety. The Ministry of Finance has issued a circular to buy a kilo of Nadu variety of paddy at 100 rupees. The government took this decision to grant maximum benefit to farmers. Paddy harvest will be purchased from farmers and will be milled to rice, and each low-income family will be provided with 10 kilo of rice. However, the farmers point out that selling paddy at 100 rupees a kilo is not sufficient for them as they had spent a huge sum of money for cultivation. Meanwhile, chairman of the Small and Medium Scale Mill Owners Association, UK, Seema Singh, says that purchasing paddy from the farmers at 100 rupees a kilo is a benefit for them. The farmers had to sell their harvest at lower rates during the past period.
Harvesting at the paddy fields cultivated by the inmates of the Batticaloa prison was conducted today under the supervision of officer in charge and the staff of the Batticaloa prison. The inmates had cultivated 10 acres of abandoned paddy fields in the Batticaloa area. The inmate says that the cultivation was successful as they applied fertilizer at the proper time.
Minister of Tourism Harin Fernando says that tourism sector has achieved a rapid growth during the past 6 months. Sri Lanka has been internationally accepted as a suitable destination for tourists at present. The minister made these remarks participating at the BIT tourism exhibition held in Milano, Italy. Sri Lankan business community living in Italy was also present at this event.
And his delegation is here to talk about.
See, those are challenges, but I'm quite certain 2018 was the best year for Sri Lanka, which we had 2.3 million of tourists. And I'm quite certain this year my target was 1.5 million because we were recovering, but I'm quite certain we will reach up to close to 2 million, and 2024 will be our year where we'll have high-end tourists and a different set of tourism that will take place in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is no longer that only the beach, the Sigiriya, the Kandy, or going to New Aurelia. We need to redefine, we need to see Sri Lanka differently. We will be launched in Singapore as a destination for scuba diving, and ADEX is going to feature a huge program in October, and you'll be surprised, Sri Lanka has 140 odd shipwrecks around our beautiful island coast.
And meanwhile, police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa expressed views on the dispute taken place between two factions of students in the Sri Javaradhanapura University last night.
Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that according to the information received, there was a party in the university premises yesterday to mark the Valentine's Day. The dispute has occurred as a result of an altercation among two groups. We're not certain on the reasons of the quarrel. However, the investigations are being carried out into the incident. There may be political ideologies behind the dispute. At present, we have information of it as a dispute between two faculties. State Minister Shahant Seema Singh says that Sri Lanka government's aim is to enhance the living standard of the people and to confirm food security.
He made this comment addressing the 46th session of the International Fund on Agricultural Development holding in Rome. The organization is titled as IFAD and active over 100 countries around the world. The objective of the UN body is to eliminate hunger and poverty. The 46th executive session of the organization is now being held in the headquarters in Rome. State Minister Shahan Semasinghe, representing Sri Lanka, said the talks with the IMF is now at satisfactory level. He pointed out that through the IMF process, Sri Lanka can achieve economic stability and debt sustainability.
Minister of Education Susil Premajand says that all essential textbooks will be delivered to schools before the start of new education year 2023 on the 26th of March. He made this comment joining the initial program held today to distribute school textbooks. This program was held at the warehouse complex of the Educational Publications Department located at Pitipana in Homagama. The free school textbooks will be delivered among students, focusing special attention to primary classes grades 6 and 11. The historic temple of the Tooth Relic in the city of Kandy will host a Janaraja Perahara on February 19th after a gap of 34 years.
The procession has been organized to coincide with the 75th independence celebration, and it will be inaugurated under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. According to the coordinating officer of the cultural officer of the Temple of the Tooth Relic, the procession will begin from the Magul Madur premises at 6:30 p.m. on February 19th. It will parade along the Dalanda Street, Yatinura Street, Kandy Street, Raja Street and return to the temple, marking the end of the event. The organizers have made preparations to make the Janaraja Perahara colourful with cultural performances including dancing groups and caparisoned elephants, similar to the annual Asala Perahara. However, unlike the Kandy Asala Perahara, the Dalanda Karanua, the casket carrying the sacred relics, will not be carried on a tusker at the Janaraja Perahara. Instead, the national emblem of Sri Lanka will be carried. The Janaraja Perahara aims to promote the tourism industry, and facilities have been arranged along the Janaraja Perahara route for the spectators who come to watch it. The Janaraja Perahara was first organized in 1875 to celebrate the arrival of Duke of Wales, the son of Queen Victoria, to Ceylon. The procession was held in 1954 when Queen Elizabeth II, then the head of state of Sri Lanka, visited the country. The Queen watched the Janaraja Perahara from the Pattiripur. And meanwhile, German Member of Parliament Peter Ramsurer met President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday.
The progress of the projects being implemented at the Karapitiya Hospital with the support of the German government was reviewed, and future activities were discussed during the meeting. President Ranil Wickremesinghe stated that he expects Germany's technical assistance and investment in Sri Lanka's upcoming development program and requested further assistance in this regard. Further, the President expressed his thanks for the projects that Germany has introduced to manage the human-elephant conflict in this country, and Mr. Peter Ramsurer expressed his appreciation for studying and implementing them in the country. In addition, President Ranil Wickremesinghe also mentioned that he is looking for support to further expand the training programs for Sri Lankan students through German technical colleges. Senior advisor to the President on National Security and Head of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayaka, Presidential Director for Sustainable Development and Youth Affairs Randula Bevira and several others attended the event.
And meanwhile, a series of television programs has been planned for the promotion of Sinhala cinema under the sponsorship of the National Film Corporation. ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation and the Independent Television Network initiate the program. Under the program, films honoured at local and international levels will be evaluated. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena said that films will be telecast with an introductory program to evaluate the actors and technical staff who contributed their skills in the process of producing the film. The new program will be telecasted on Fridays weekly at 9:30 p.m. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, W.B. Ganegala, said that this will start on Friday, the 17th of this month. The inaugural program, the popular Sinhala Cinema Sandeshya, will be telecast. The program will help to evaluate and facilitate the service contributed by the artists of the cinema industry. We request to all relevant stakeholders to support the program with whatever contribution that they can make. Chairman of the Independent Television Network, Sudarshana Gunawardena, said that after having half an hour introductory discussion, we expect to telecast the film. We have already started a program meant for Sinhala films on Sundays.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the government will leave no room to violate the 9th clause of the Constitution. He made this comment taking part in a religious ceremony in Ratnapura yesterday. Venerable Karangoda Sri Senananda Thera was conferred with the Mahanayaka position of the Eknaligoda sector of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya at the Karangoda Siddharthodaya Pirivan Mahavihara in Ratnapura. The Prime Minister offered the Sannas Patra in relation with the Mahanayaka position. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the government is committed to safeguard the Sambuddha Sasana in Sri Lanka. It will cause no harm to the 9th clause of the Constitution. The advancement of the Buddhist order is secured and protected by the 9th clause as a huge effort made by the Mahasangha in Sri Lanka.
A medical officer of Badulla General Hospital has been arrested under the charge of selling drugs to school students. He was taken into custody yesterday by the Passara Police Special Task Force officers. The suspect has attempted to sell 145 hallucination pills in front of the Muthiyangane sacred site. The police says that he is a resident of Badulla area.
The international thrilling adventure event Raid Amazons 2023 will be held in Kandy from the 19th to the 29th of March. Over 250 female competitors will take part in this event. About 60 French nationals are in the organizing committee of this tournament. Event management of this event is being carried out at the present. Raid Amazons 2023 is an annual thrilling adventure event originated in France.
Since I arrived, I've been overwhelmed by the generosity of the people, by the landscape of Sri Lanka, the diversity and the beauty of the landscapes of Sri Lanka, by the culture of Sri Lanka, by the food. This is something which is important for a Frenchman, and this also has overwhelmed me. So I kind of envy the participants who are going to discover all these elements and who are going to make such marvelous meetings during their stay here. And really, this is something which is so nice and so important. And really, this will be a great event, I mean, to highlight all the, how great a destination Sri Lanka is.
We've obviously been through here a very difficult period over the last few years. We had COVID and then we had the country difficulties. And Sri Lanka is a wonderful destination. And it was fantastic last year when we welcomed Raid Amazon to Sigiriya, and we worked with Chandra and many others. And it was a wonderful event that really showcased. But I think the one thing that separates Sri Lanka out from so many other destinations, I mean, there are other places that have beautiful beaches, have rainforests, have history. Okay, we've got it all. But it's the hospitality, it's the connection, it's the stories. And I think when you see the videos of the last raid, you'll understand what I mean. And it sort of comes to the heart and showcases the heart of what Sri Lanka is all about. So we're delighted to welcome you back. We're delighted to welcome you here, to welcome you back. And we look forward to the rest of the evening, and we look forward to you seeing the videos and some of the stories so you understand what an important event this is. Thank you.
It's 21 year now that I organize Red Amazon all over the world, because in the concept, Red Amazon changes the destination every year. But it will be the 7th time that I organize Red Amazon in Sri Lanka. I think I'm becoming Sri Lankan. But you know, this country has so big potential. For me, you know, Sri Lanka has a big heart and a huge resilience. Come and visit as tourists Sri Lanka. You know, it's safe. 10 days ago, I read in the main professional tourism magazine that Sri Lanka was in the top 5 of the destinations that the French people would like to discover. I'm convinced, and that's the reason why I come back, that Sri Lanka deserves that. You are really lucky as a country. I would like to thank very much Sri Lankan Airlines, which is the major support for me for my event, because...
Foreign news on the other side of this break.
Happy Valentine's Day! Prima Kottumi share the hot and spicy love every day. Prima Kottumi, fun tamai.
இந்தாங்க தம்பி, பிள்ளை எதிர்காலத்தை பத்தியே சிந்தித்தெடுத்த பரிசு.
தம்பி ஆபீஸ்ல உள்ளவங்களும் குழந்தையின் எதிர்காலத்தை சிந்தித்தே பரிசுகள் கொண்டாந்தாங்க.
இந்த காலத்து பிள்ளைகளும் எங்களை போல எதிர்காலத்தை பத்தி யோசிக்கிறாங்க.
குழந்தைக்கு வழங்கக்கூடிய புத்தி சாதுரியமான பரிசு மக்கள் வங்கியின் இசுரூதான பரிசு சான்றிதழ்.
Welcome back with international news, and moving to the update of earthquake in New Zealand. Foreign media reports says that tens of thousands of New Zealanders have been shaken by a 6.3 magnitude earthquake centered near Wellington.
The quake started with a large jolt, followed by at least 30 seconds of moderate shaking. The quake took place at 7:38 in the evening hours New Zealand local time, around 50 kilometers northwest of Paraparaumu at the depth of 48 kilometers. More than 60,000 residents reported feeling the quake, including in Auckland and Christchurch.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says that more than 36,000 people have died as a result of earthquake that struck Turkey last week, making it deadliest of such disaster in Turkey since the founding of the republic 100 years ago. Senior Turkish official recommends the immediate demolition of 50,576 damaged buildings in the earthquake-hit region as the country grapples with its deadliest disaster in the recent century. Turkish search and rescue teams have saved yesterday a woman who was trapped in the rubble for 122 hours. In neighboring Syria, the number of deaths reached 5,814 according to the latest figures, bringing the total death toll from the both countries to over 41,232.
Happy Valentine's Day! Prima Kottumi share the hot and spicy love every day.
And in your sports news tonight, England Lions won the first unofficial one-day match against Sri Lanka, 18 by 4 wickets. The match was played at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo.
Batting for Sri Lanka, A scored 230 runs all out. Captain Sadira Samaravikrama scored 74 runs. England Lions passed the victory target only for the loss of 6 wickets. Sam Hain scored 52 runs. In bowling, Dishan Hemantha claimed 3 wickets. Sri Lanka national cricket team has started practice sessions at the Radalla cricket grounds in Nuwara area prior to the New Zealand tour. Radalla ground is managed under the Dambulla Sports Club. Radalla grounds has been separated for training for the national cricket team. Radalla is the only cricket ground located in the highest altitude in Sri Lanka.
Happy Valentine's Day! Prima Kottu Misha, the hot and spicy love every day.
And with that, we'll wrap up tonight's English news on Rupavahini. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.